Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share 5 things that we don't allow for our toddler. Okay, so this isn't an exhaustive list, but it is a true one. And so I'm going to share with you 5 things in no particular order that we do not allow for our toddler. And when I share these things, sometimes other parents are like, oh yeah, just wait until you have your second child and you relax a little bit more. And to that I have to say, watch me. Just watch me. I'm very intentional in this point in my life, both for myself and for our family and for our daughter in general. And so these things that I've done since the time she was born are things that I plan to continue on through the life of our family. So the first thing that we do not allow for our toddler is sugar. No table sugar, no coconut sugar, no maple sugar, no sugar or sweetener currently. With the elevated levels of diabetes and heart disease in our country, I really just felt like it was important to start her on a trajectory of healthy eating. And that means having a healthy relationship with food that doesn't include sugar. Sugar is addictive, and it's in everything. And if you plan to do this for your own kids, you will see that reading the labels is super important and understanding exactly what sugar is, corn syrup, salts, dextrose, sucrose, any of that stuff. You'll have to just be aware that it exists and that it's in a lot of things. And those are the things that I don't want to give my daughter. So the second thing, kind of in line with that, is we don't give our daughter white enriched flour for about the same reasons that we do the no table sugar or sweetener, just because we want her to have a healthy relationship with nutrient dense food. And white enriched flour is not nutrient dense. And in fact, a lot of the vitamins and minerals are stripped out of it. Is it enjoyable to eat? Yes. Is it addictive? Yes. But does it add any benefit to our health? Probably not. It's actually been linked to an increase in having type 2 diabetes, obesity. Those just aren't things that we want our daughter to have to contend with if she doesn't have to. So if we don't introduce those to her now, maybe she won't have as much of an affinity for them once she is able to have them. The third thing we don't allow for our daughter is screen time. There are a couple of exceptions to that I will touch on in another video, but we do not allow her to have any type of television program, watching time. We don't have a tablet for her to play on, no games or anything like that. We just don't allow those for her, and our plan is to hopefully not allow any of that until she's 3. And that'll just depend on if we think that she's ready. Right now we have a television in our living room that I think she just thinks is part of the room decor. She doesn't pay attention to it. She doesn't beg to use it. And so we would just like to keep it that way. We want her to grow her imagination, to learn how to play with the things that we've gotten her. And we don't want to have to lean on screen time for us to adapt and cope as parents. Not to say that it's a bad thing for everyone else. It's just what we've chosen to do because we really want her not, being reliant on a screen to entertain her for the long haul. So the fourth thing that we don't allow for our daughter is we don't allow her to be around vulgar or negative talk. This includes conversations that turn argumentative or go negative quickly. There have been times that we've removed her from an environment or a situation because we just didn't think that the conversation was appropriate for, our almost 2-year-old little girl. And then us ourselves, as parents, we do have times when our emotions run high or we disagree about things, and we just don't want that to bleed into our daughter's emotions or what she's feeling at the time. And so if we have a disagreement about something, if we can't talk about it in a healthy manner, then we take a beat, we wait, and we come back to the table and have a conversation, maybe without her being in our presence. And so it's just really important for her to have a sense of stability, to see what a healthy disagreement looks like, and those things are not blowing up and being crazy. And so that's just something that we are very intentional about in our house and outside of our house. That means if strangers around us are using negative talk or being vulgar, we try to steer her away from being around them. So the fifth thing we don't allow for our daughter is toys with flashing lights. And sometimes I get the side eye when I tell people this because, first of all, it's very difficult to find a wide range of toys without flashing lights. They just make them with flashing lights all the time. But the reason why is sort of similar to why we don't want her to have televisions or a tablet to depend on. And that's because we want her to use her imagination to learn cause and effect without having strobes to catch her attention. And so sometimes we're gifted things that do flash from other people. And if that's the case, we thank them and we take the batteries out. And that's worked out just fine. She enjoys turning knobs, pressing buttons, and using her imagination when she's playing with those things. And it's worked out really well for us. But we definitely want her to be able to entertain herself without all the flashing chaos that can sometimes be around when we're talking kids' toys. And so, children's toy makers out there, make us some more toys that don't flash. I would love that. But we really have found a good wide range of toys that do not flash. And if you are looking into these, any toys that are like Montessori toys, Montessori, how do you say it? Let me know in the comments. Montessori or Montessori? I think it's Montessori. But if you're looking for those things, you can find them, especially if you search Amazon or the internet in general. You'll find plenty, but they may not be readily available like in your local department stores. That's been my experience. But those are the 5 things that we don't allow for our toddler. Like I said, these are things that I do. They may not work for you, but this is how we are choosing to raise our little girl and any brothers or sisters that may come after her. So have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Her, that was the ice machine.